Good morning, good morning. Namaste, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Just how one
What's
can
happening?
actually be comfortable in whatever we have, whether it's our physical aspect or our thoughts, or how we present ourselves to others, is how we are taken by others. That's what we've learned from you, Didi, all this while. So over to you to really know how we can be comfortable in our own skin, despite we not being very friendly to our thoughts or to the way uh, we present ourselves or look or the self-esteem if we lack, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so why we picked up this topic was because when last time we were talking, there were certain questions or queries that people had put up about, themselves because we were talking about judgment, right? We were talking
Ji.
about judgment and how, when we feel judged, uh, it's always we feeling that other people are judging us, but actually it's self judgment that comes in that creates this thing of feeling judged. And for that matter, everything that we feel is as a threat coming from others. You have to reflect, go inwards and see where is it triggering something within you. Where is it triggering something within you? So that is the first thing that we need to reflect on. And when we say how comfortable are we in our skin, I picked it up from last week because a lot of times, we actually waste a major part of our lives wanting people's opinions, validations, and approvals to be able to live our life to the fullest, or to be, feeling that, yeah, I'm good because so and so has approved of me, because so and so has given me a compliment. But actually, that's not true. That's just not true. This brings us to the very, very important thing that I have been emphasizing in most of my talks, that why are we focusing outward? Why are we focusing on the approval, the validation, the appeasing others? Why are we focusing outwards? Okay, to some level, to be or live in a society, we need that. To some level, it may be important. I'm not denying that. But to base our whole opinion of ourselves based on what other people are saying is absolutely a waste of this life. In fact, yesterday I was doing a healing with a young girl, and I was telling her that, like if you get hurt, so there are elders in the home who sort of say some things or disapprove of certain habits that you have, and you feel that they are putting you down. Now, if you are acting in a particular way, and you are being told that that is not the way, and it makes you feel as if they are putting you down. Firstly, are you comfortable doing that? If you are comfortable doing that, and if you feel that it is okay, whether it is to sleep till 12 o'clock or to be up till 4 o'clock, if you feel okay with it, then why does the other person's comment hurt you? It only hurts you because a part of you also knows that this is not the right thing, or this is not the way to be. And whatever it is, I'm again not judging it. Like, what we think as early may be very different. um, that definition of early may be very different for somebody else, and that's absolutely fine. So ultimately it comes down to how comfortable are you with the action, the behavior, the lifestyle that you are leading, isn't it? If you are comfortable with that, why does somebody telling you or disapproving of that action, that thought, that idea of yours, why does it hurt you to such a deep level that it really triggers and makes your life so miserable? So the first thing is that you have to be okay with what you are doing, or you have to reflect and then see that, okay, am I really comfortable with this action of mine? If a person in the house tells you that, why are you sleeping till 12 o'clock, that's not the way to be, and you get hurt about it. If you are okay sleeping till 12 o'clock, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. You don't have to get hurt at that comment. But if you feel that, no, I shouldn't be sleeping till 12 o'clock, yes, then it should hurt you, because you're not able to manage that aspect, or that behavior of yours. So firstly, be okay and comfortable within yourself with all that you are doing, how you're presenting yourself, what you are, how you are putting yourself out into the world. So that becomes, that's why that subtle difference between self-confidence and self-esteem. If it was self-confidence as to how you present yourself outwardly to the world, then yes, it is, I'm very confident, I can stand on a stage, I can say this, say that. But the moment I come back into my space, I feel horrible about myself, I feel miserable about my life, then that's your self-esteem being very low. But this dichotomy is what most people are living with in this world, as sad as it is. And I'm sure that all of us, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, all of us at some point have lived a life like this, isn't it? Either be okay. This is now, I have absolutely been reprogramming and training my mind, and I see that it is helping a lot of people as well as helping me. Either be okay with what you're doing or don't complain about it. If you feel, oh, I have all the responsibility on my head, I have to do everything, then either don't do it, or if you're doing it, do it happily or joyfully. And of course, it takes a while. Anything for that matter. This is just an example. So anything for that matter, then you will be at peace, and then there will be no difference between between the way you present yourself outwardly and the way you present yourself with yourself. Isn't it? Any questions, any reflections?
I have something to say here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we understand that, a person has to be comfortable in this, if somebody is commenting. So how bad we should feel also depends upon if you're guilty about doing something and somebody points out, that's how we react. But I'm just generalizing it when, especially the youngsters, that it's a very common problem that, they are awake the entire night, they sleep till late. But as parents, as elders, there is something that guides us across to tell it to them that, see, whatever we've learned over the years is just not just for the sake of it. There is a reason, like there is a circadian rhythm within each one of us. We understand how it works. So if we are even trying to tell this to them, there is a reaction, but that
Yeah, but see,
reaction
again,
could
that
become,
comes to you now. That's bouncing back. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but that's
yeah,
bouncing back at you. Why is it hurting you? Why is it hurting you? You as a parent are doing your duty by telling them, full stop. Whether they're doing it or not doing it is their business. If they're choosing to go down the drain, you can only help them to that level. You cannot enforce it. You cannot enforce it till the time it comes from within themselves, till they see you getting up early in the morning and enjoying that morning time, or they feel so. But for them it's a different life, and we have to respect it to some level. We cannot expect them to be just the way as we have lived our lives. Everybody's setup is different, isn't it? Everybody's setup is different, everybody's life is different, everybody's mind frame. Yes, there are certain ways of being which is absolutely, I mean, you speak to any even if the children nowadays who are following so many spiritual paths, also they are following gurus, they are following good ways of eating, the veganism or ayurveda, they're following those things. Even those people enforce or they advise to be up in the morning. It's a good way, I'm just taking this as an example. But uh, the lifestyle of these children are very different, and that's okay, that's okay. We don't have to think that that is the only way to be. Actually, if you look at it, it's the first 4 hours till 2 a.m is the time when you actually get that restful sleep. Even if you study the sleep pattern, that is the time when the body is rejuvenating. But if you choose to sleep only after 2 o'clock, then of course your body will not be healthy, you will not get up fresh, or the way that so many things which are a natural part of the healing or the resting process. But if the whole system, the whole biological clock, the body systems, everything has changed, and so we are adapting to this new way of being. So I come back to your question, Vinita, because if there is a reaction from them, why would you want to put yourself in that situation again and again? Say it and leave it at that. Believe me, it goes somewhere in their subconscious. They may not act, but it goes somewhere in their subconscious. Isn't it? You see so many people now getting up in the morning, going, they're running, they're cycling, they're going on bikes and all. So there is a different set of people also. But then that's again something that they have to do, or, it's a part of peer pressure, or it's a part of, something that they're involving in. Just for themselves, they will not get up. Again, this is not a generalization, but this is what you see. And even for adults, it's like, most of the time you don't have time for yourself, isn't it? Most of the time one doesn't have time for themselves. It's always rushing. I mean, how many people really step out of the house and think, oh, I'm not getting late to work? I would say very minimum, because it's always rushed. There's so much to do. There's so much more to do, isn't it? And I'm sure most of us agree with that. We had our lives very structured, or, there may be still many people who reach work on time or are not rushing for work or rushing wherever they're going. It's such a rush within. Everything is a rush in life now, as if one has to attain something and get something within a limited lifespan, which is not true. So this spending quality time with yourself or being comfortable with yourself will naturally slow down something within you. And that does not mean that you'll get laid back, or you'll, sort of procrastinate and will not be able to do things properly on time. That's not true. Everything will happen perfectly, but just allow things to be at the pace they are. And again, don't judge those situations. Don't judge your job. Don't judge your life. Don't judge yourself or people around you. And just be okay. Being comfortable, again, coming back literally, is just be okay with the way life is. Now, why is my complexion dark? My brother's complexion is very fair. My sister has this, I don't have this. All those comparisons make you uncomfortable with yourself. Each one of us are absolutely unique. Each one of us are absolutely unique. Can we just take that as a statement and really embody this statement? And we're just perfect the way we are. Yes, we may have things that we can improve. There may be things which, I would want to aspire to do. That's fine. But the way you are, the way your life is absolutely perfect for you, tailor-made, customized for you by the universe. If we can just live with this belief, life will be so much more beautiful and so much more in acceptance. Then the resistances will naturally follow. All the judgments, all the discomfort, all the misery, I would say, is only caused by resistance. Resistance to life. It should not be this way. I wish it was this way. Comparisons, wanting things to be in a particular way, expectations. These are the things that put us down. And today we're only talking about ourselves. We're not even talking about anything outside. Just about myself. Why am I short? Why is my height not this? Why am I fat? Why are my features like this? If we just keep questioning and, putting those things, and actually, if you look at that same feature with a positive look, you'll find it so beautiful. You'll find it so beautiful and unique within you, isn't it? Yes, Vinita, are you saying something?
Yeah, I was actually going back to the time when we were doing some course together, and you said that obesity is also a part of when we don't accept ourselves, and it's kind of an insecurity that delves in it. Because these days, a lot of youngsters and a lot of people struggle with extra weight on their body. So, how do we do that self-talking? I think that's the most difficult part, ma'am.
It's not difficult. See, it's not about obesity, or just like those who are too tall find themselves too tall, those who are short find themselves so short, those who are fat would want to have a skinny body, those who are skinny would want to have a healthy body. So it's like not being satisfied with the way you are. Not being satisfied with the way you are. It's like, you make a nice sandwich for your child and the child just says, I don't like it. It's the same way when God makes you in a particular way and you say, no, I don't like myself, isn't it? But you know that this is best for him. God knows that this is just the way that you are. And if you really want to change or reprogram those parts of your body, then work on it. Who says you can't? You can't erase those. But what is wrong in being, of course, there are health conditions and all, which I'm not going into. But I would say, rather than wanting to do these things very superficially, do them from a deeper space of from acceptance. And to put it all together with what Vinita you asked me, there is only one thing which can help us grow out of it, and that is self-love. That is just loving yourself the way you are. Don't you say to other people that, why can't you accept me just as I am? Love me just the way that I am. Because if somebody wants you to change, it's not very comfortable with you. So just love me the way I am. In the same way, you also love yourself the way you are. Why is that so difficult? Why is that so difficult? The difficulty is only because you're already looking at somebody and you're wanting yourself to be like that. But you're not made like that. You're made totally different. If I choose to be on a spiritual path and, my friends or my siblings choose to be on a different path, it's fine. That's how the whole universe is balanced. That's how the whole universe is balanced. If everybody was just on one aspect, how would there be this balance in life? So why do we want others to follow us? Why do we want that they should also be like if I'm following a path of spirituality, everybody around me should follow a path of spirituality, because that's the perfect way to be. And that causes the unrest within us, isn't it? Or we want to be on a path that they have chosen. But life is not putting you there, because your life plan is totally different. And believe me, your life plan also you have chosen. Nobody else has chosen it for you. Whether you like it or you don't like it, you have chosen that. And we all have to now move out of these little personal, personal things or personal pockets which are really, really imprisoning us. Step out and look at things in a very large, vast, universal, unconditional way. Don't have everything in very conditioned ways, because that is not what is going to take you ahead in life. Just love yourself the way you are, just as you want somebody else to love you. And really, the work all starts from inside. The work just starts from inside. Do some self-love affirmations, do some tapping to release these things that you feel, oh, why do I have a sharp nose? Why do I have why are my legs like this? Why are my eyes not like this? I mean, drop all this. It has no relevance at all. You are not, and if your relationships or your friendships are based on, how you look and how you carry yourself, those are very superficial relationships. Believe me, they will not last. I have so many, so many friends, so many cousins, vast group of people. We may not connect for years, but whenever we connect with love. I respect them, they respect me. That's what you need. That's what you need to carry with you. It's not the external. So step back into your own self. Step back and see there are so many good things within you. And I really want to emphasize this today, because I hear so many young people suffering because they say that, oh, they don't approve of this part of me, they don't approve of this part of me. But which part of you do you approve yourself of? Make that list. Focus on that. That's the law of attraction. That's what you need to enhance as you go along in your life. There are so many good things within you, isn't it? That's what you want. That's what you need to encash. But first of all, make it true for yourself. Yes, Manjula, ask your question.
Good morning, Sujata. It's not a question. I agree with you 100%, and I've seen this in my life. Like my sister, my daughter, they all had a lot of, and they all lacked self-love, and that was seen physically on them in their relations everywhere around. And I used to tell them, like, do what you would like. You don't criticize another person, because just like your children, you always have to think, what would you like to do if you were that child? Would you like someone being behind you, always asking you to do this and that? Want you love freedom? That is one thing. Second thing is, I was telling them, don't compare yourself with everyone or anyone. Tell yourself, I mean, it's not easy to look in the mirror and say, I love myself and all that, but just be happy that God has given you this body and He has made you unique. How do you like variety of flowers and variety of scents and things? Same way, you are also a different person. And a lot of time I have been talking to them, and now they've come to understand that, and the change in their life is so beautiful. Like I would see my sister always grumpy and not enjoying anyone's company and all earlier. Now I told her, first of all, smile at yourself. Smile. Don't think what the other person is thinking about you. Just put a fake smile initially, but later it will become a real smile. And that has changed her life so much. She started enjoying company. She's got a lot of friends now Earlier, she was totally alone.
Mhm.
Started faking, but
Yeah.
started putting a smile, started putting the first step to getting introduced and all that,
Yeah.
And same
Yeah.
way, my daughter had a lot of lack of self-love, and she had a lot of acne on her body, and I mean on her face, and she was a bit plump also. And everyone used to ask me, like, why are you so fat? Why are you so plump? She started saying that it's okay, I'm this way. But she started taking steps of doing exercise, cleaning her face, eating fresh food and all that. And that change has come on her face. Now she looks very, very pretty, and everyone comments on her pictures and this thing because it's not unnatural or makeup. It is the self love that she has given. So, yes, what you said is so, I mean, with real life experience, I do understand how much self love matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for sharing that. But, and even in energy work, we say, fake it till you make it. Sometimes
Yes,
people say,
yes.
oh, I can't see any light. When I do Reiki with them, I can't see any light. What color should I see? So just fake it, yeah. Just whatever color, white, blue, pink, yellow, it doesn't matter. Just allow, just imagine that light is coming, just fake it. And before you know it, you'll start connecting to that light because it is there. You cannot see it. The beauty is there within you. You cannot see it, isn't it? I mean, I've seen people who weigh whatever and they feel so comfortable with themselves. And those who are like, just so skinny and thin and they keep saying, oh, I need to go on a diet, I need to go on a diet. It's like, just live your life naturally, just as you mentioned, Manjula. It is just so, and it is so liberating to live in that way, isn't it? If you're only trying to make up or put makeup and present yourself in a particular way, that's not comfortable. And
Yeah.
very soon the makeup will wash off and the true colors will be revealed. And that's just the beauty of it. That's just the beauty of it. Like, you look at nature, how much we have to learn from nature. The tree is not going to say that, okay, my this branch should go in this direction, my leaf should only be this much, my height should not go beyond that. I mean, God is making each leaf, each branch, each tree, each flower just so beautiful in just the way that it's meant to be. Who's making them? Nobody. They're just growing on their own, but something is monitoring how the tree will be, how long it will be, where it will be, what fruit it will bear, whether it will bear the fruit or not. Look at the way the trees shed their leaves, and it seems, oh, everything is so dry, and in that autumn where everything is just falling off. And then suddenly you see it brightening and full of leaves and flowers and all. Isn't it just so beautiful? So we are all just like that. We can't judge that tree because it was dry and has no leaves. Before you know it, it'll be full of leaves and flowers and fruits. And you look at it and say, wow. So life is just like that. Don't 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 push yourself to be in a particular way. If it's a moment of a time of when you're going through something and you're looking like that bare tree having nothing on itself, know that very soon it's going to be full of flowers, and so is your life going to be, and so are you going to be. And the second thing that I want to say before I forget, when I heard Manjula, you say it is difficult to look at yourself in the mirror and say that I love you or you're so beautiful. It is one exercise which I tell everybody to do in the morning. Isn't it? Most of us, like all of us, are brushing our teeth in the morning and there is a mirror. Just make it a point to look into your eyes once and look at yourself with love and see what a big difference it will begin to make in your life. And it is okay if you say, oh, I have acne on my face, or my eyes are so small, or my ears are popping out, they're so big. They're just unique. It's just perfect. If you just look at that as a feature which makes your face look so different, it's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. Isn't it? I mean, we worship. I just saw this picture of, which Rajni auntie has on her screen of a little Krishnji. And it just reminds me of that thing when, Krishna asked his mother, Ke Radha kyu gori, main kyu kala. Isn't it? But we worship and we love the form of Krishna. So that's, I mean, I don't know, it just came to me, so I'm sharing it, whether it's relevant or not. But isn't it so? It's not about whether you're black or white, it's just who you are. It's your energy, it's your presence. That is what attracts the world, the universe, and you become like a deity who everybody worships.
I have some experience to share, hearing you and Manjula talk. So when I had gotten married, I was very thin. And coming from Rajasthan, getting married in Delhi was more like यहाँ पे सब इतने healthy Punjabi, not going into those, but yeah. So everybody would be like, "तुम्हारे माँ बाप ने खाना नहीं खिलाया," and all those funny comments would come up and all that. And for a very long time, I was like, and हमको ना रात को नींद नहीं आती थी कई बार. और yeah, there used to be a fright that if I had to go on a social function, what would people say? And then I started talking to myself. I said, all right. So then I had one phrase. I said, आप लोग जाते हो जिम पतले होने के लिए. You get over your clothes very soon. I said, I'm very happy to wear what I've been wearing, and I can still go back into my skirt, school skirt. So gradually I started, getting those
Okay.
framing those sentences in my head कि अब ये बोलेंगे तो what will I say? And believe it, so the moment I started accepting that to myself, everybody is shocked. And now they're saying तुमने तो इतना maintain किया हुआ है. जब मैं पतली थी, so that's what they would say, and now they are like I mean, you just want to say, okay, all right, that's how I always come back to you for last 10 years, what we've learned. I said, it's so beautiful that it's your self experience. किसी को बताने की जरूरत नहीं होती है. We know that shift that starts happening within us.
Hmm. Absolutely. And like even I've seen, I'm not being personal to anybody here on the Zoom screen, but initially it was like even now we have to ask people to put on their screens. Why? Because they're feeling something that, oh, I'm not okay. So what if you're lying in bed? So what if you're, not up and fresh? You're just listening in. It's absolutely fine. It's okay. Nobody's judging you. You're not meant to sit here on a stage to be presenting yourself. If you are fine, if not fine, people are not seeing what is there behind you. Are you in a big room? Are you in a small? I mean, we have to drop all these things. Just be free and okay as you are. And I was just thinking while we were talking, I don't know who Manjula brought up that thing. That card that we have in tarot. Most of you have done the Osho tarot with me, the comparison card, which has the oak on one side and the bamboo on one side. So the bamboo is thin, green, and slender, isn't it? Absolutely thin and green and fresh. And there is this big, fat, heavy oak, sturdy, grounded, right? But the bamboo is always envying the oak for its sturdiness, for its groundedness, for its, ability to stand and take everything, whatever weather comes, whatever comes, versus the thin, and the oak is looking always at the bamboo and thinking, wow, she's so pretty, so thin, and so, so agile, so versatile. But each has its own unique personality, doesn't it? Whether it's the oak or the bamboo, the oak is the oak and the bamboo is the bamboo. So you cannot compare these things in life. Similarly, for us, you have to just be okay whether you're that oak or that bamboo or whatever. It's absolutely fine. And also, how we present ourselves when we, so many times I know of people who lose out on opportunities in life just thinking, okay, I'm not going there because, everybody there judges me, or everybody there might look at me in a way that I'm not presentable, I'm not up to that level. But who's setting those parameters or those levels? If you are comfortable going there and you enjoy being in that space and just being comfortable there, then anywhere you go, believe me, like this topic came up last week, if you are comfortable in your own skin, it will not bother you where you are. Again, it also brings us to a deeper understanding that ultimately at the core of it, we are all one, isn't it? At the core of it, we are all one. There is no separation. There is absolutely no separation. Hi, Snigdha. Thank you for joining in.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to show you I look good today.
Of course, you are good.
Yeah.
You're wonderful.
And I also have something to add. So I wanted to say that, if we are not comfortable in our own space, when people come and pass judgments and, they kind of project their own insecurities on us. So I think if we are protected by our own self-love, and, it's very difficult for me to say this today, but I come from a very good space wherein half an hour ago I was not feeling so good, but all of a sudden I felt, and I can totally relate to the fact that people come and project their own insecurities and judgments, and I feel we should just need to protect ourselves. So with self
Absolutely.
love.
Absolutely. And believe me, that is what will really help you to go ahead, nothing else. Because we may not be able to change those people's projections and, the way that it's their insecurities. And again, it's not about judging them, it is just allowing them to be in the way they are. And how will you, if we need to change anybody, or if we want to want them also to be in the space of self-love. You can only, like yesterday I was telling you, you can only give what you have. If they're only full of fear and insecurity, not to judge anybody. This has been a big lesson for me, that if one is full of fear and insecurity, if your cup is just full of all that criticism, what can you give anybody? Can you give them love? If you're like, if your glass is full of orange juice, you will only get orange juice. You cannot get, wine from that. So you have to fill your glass with wine if you want wine. So in the same way, if you're full of love, you will overflow with love. One can't help it, isn't it? So fill yourself up with that love. So that is what you even project, even if there is a fearful part of you, which all of us have in our lives. There's some areas of our life that we are fearful about, or we have insecurities, but we can't be living with them 24/7. So fill yourself up so much with love that whoever comes around you, you're only radiating that love. And everybody needs it. Everybody needs it, isn't it? Right? Thank you for sharing, and just keep that smile on. Look at yourself and keep that smile on. If I may just share that, yesterday we were doing a session, and nearly for 30-40 minutes, it was like she was first session that we did. I've never met her before, just connected maybe here, there. And after that, when she started smiling, I said, "You look so beautiful when you smile." She said, "Yeah, I know that. Everybody tells me that." So what stops you from smiling and spreading that smile around? And most of all, it's not about spreading it around for anybody else. It's just smile at yourself. When we do EFT, we remind in between. When we say, okay, breathe, we always also say smile. When you smile, it does something to all the cells in your body. And then the mind comes in and says, "But why are you smiling? You're so miserable." Isn't it? You're tapping for anger, hate, revenge, judgment, whatever, and you're smiling. But the moment you smile, it all just dissipates. And you don't have to answer your mind all the time. Isn't it? And it's just such a wonderful way to live.
And one thing I want to say, I just saw Vinita, I saw her sharing her story. She looks so pretty. Like, that was my first thought.
She is so pretty. I mean, I envy her every time I see her in a sari and a beautiful bindi and her thing. Right now, she's sitting like quite absolutely as she is in terms of not, but I mean, when she's dressed up, it's a wow, really.
No, but even now she looks very
Yeah,
pretty.
she
Like,
is.
if she's hearing, then I want to compliment her.
Yeah, you just
Thank
go on
you so
Facebook and
much.
look at her. I always envy her when I see her in saris and all, but I get so lazy even to think of wearing one. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm feeling so happy and thrilled, and thank you so much.
Yeah, and then
See, anything
you
coming
have
from you makes so much of a difference. You know that every word. I can just go and hug Sujata Didi. I still remember. Oh my God, I always share that. We were out to a movie hall, and she was entering, and I was coming out. Among so many people full out there, and I just hugged her, and I was crying, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Then I apologized. I said, "I'm sorry for behaving like this," but it just happened. So it's so beautiful. She said, "That's okay. Let it be." The way she handled everything, I said, "अच्छा, तो फिर ये ठीक ही होगा."
Yeah, and people around might be thinking, "Oh, why is she crying on the other person's shoulder?" But they were really tears of joy. There was nothing that we were crying about or feeling. They were just tears of joy of reconnecting after so long, and it was absolutely fine. So that's where we have to just be comfortable with ourselves, and that's just such a wonderful way of living, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Amazing. I think you should ask everybody to switch on their screens now.
I don't like to enforce anything, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, whoever wishes to, we can all smile at each other, look at each other. And actually, when we look at each other, it doesn't matter whether you're sitting in your track pants or you're, dressed up and all. Nobody's looking at that. Thanks, Poonam. Yeah, it's all fine. We're all just perfect. There comes another beautiful Rachna. So wonderful. And it's okay. Those who are not switching it on, it's absolutely fine. We see your beauty, we see your presence. Hi, Raki. So good to see you. See, it's just so wonderful. Doesn't it make you all feel so nice? Mitali, I've never met her, but I just know I've just connected with her. Poonam,
Hi,
good
so good to
morning.
be here.
So the whole screen brightens up, isn't it?
So I also wanted to share something, Didi.
Yes, Raki.
Yeah, so as you know, like I've always been very, very sad about the way that, my weight is increasing and other things. And you've been, always kind of saying that, it's okay to be what you are and love yourself. I have been trying to talk to myself and, always in the thought that, okay, it's absolutely okay. So very recently we saw this movie Double XL, and I specifically went to see that movie, and it really hit me inside. And now I'm not ashamed of the fact that I am a double XL size. And I actually ordered double XL dresses without even thinking about it. Uh, so there are various things that came back, what you always told me, that it's absolutely okay. And the moment I started accepting myself, I realized, and despite the fact that everyone used to say that, no, you look good the way you are, but it was always my inside that says that no,
Yeah.
it's not good to be fat. So I think I would really like to thank you for that.
But again, like I talk about Vinita, I would totally talk like that about you also. I mean, you might be weighing whatever, but you carry yourself so elegantly, so beautifully, the way, the range of clothes you wear without any inhibition, without the way you present yourself. But see, that's the difference I can share on this platform, because when you used a word like feel ashamed, why should one be ashamed? You could be ashamed of your lifestyle, or you could be ashamed that, you don't get up in the morning, or you don't go for a exercise or whatever, that is something that we can still think about. But to be ashamed of your body,
What we
weight,
are,
or body structure, yeah, that's not being fair to yourself, isn't it?
True.
And
True.
again, see how such a evolved person like you is saying that if we can be beating ourselves at the back of our head by thinking that I'm ashamed of my, of the way I look, and yet presenting myself so elegantly and so beautifully, see the dichotomy of our lives.
It
Inside
is.
but this is, I don't know, I haven't seen the movie, but I know for sure that this is one thing, like, body shaming is one thing which really puts us down and gives a bash to our self image and, our self esteem. But you don't need to be that. You don't need to. And
Yeah.
then when you get into that space, that's the space from where you actually, if you need to lose weight, you start to lose weight. Right. But
I
again,
agree.
it's also coming from a space of, do I want to live? I'm already nearing 60 and I feel that, I have to lose weight and only then I'll start living my life, or I'll start wearing things. I mean, stop it. We can't be wasting our life just like this.
Absolutely.
It's now going down the drain. It's like, we are on the reverse gear of our lives. We're not
So
in the
this is
form.
the time we feel that, we have to live whatever is left and live
Absolutely.
it to the fullest.
Absolutely. And why not? I would say every moment you should do that. And applaud yourself. And all of you, I would say, just look at yourselves in the mirror and just see, you'll see that there is so much of beauty within. There is so much of beauty within us. Why would you want to ignore that part of you? Why would you want to put that part of you behind? Honor that part, respect that part. Isn't it? There's so much that, and so many of us, so many times people tell me that, okay, can we do Reiki to lose weight? I said, I would first do it on myself. I would first do it on myself, but I'm just happy and peaceful the way I am. It's okay. If I need to, fine. If I aspire to, fine, that's okay. But I'll not stop thinking that I can't do this or I can't do that. And I think these movies, or, even that thing of the clothes line coming with the plus size and all that, it's just to tell people it's okay. It's okay the way you are. And it's not that you cannot wear this just because you are a double XL size or whatever. That's not true at all. Shifali had a question here. I couldn't read it. It just went off the screen.
I'll read it, Didi.
Yeah.
She says, Auntie, what about personality comparisons like someone is smart, sweet, etc.? Also comparisons with someone who's appreciated by everybody.
Well, you have to, again, you have to appreciate yourself, and then you will see that's a personality type. Some people are so forthcoming, or they present themselves in that way, or they put themselves out in that way where they want that kind of approval, or they, but the thing is, you have to be radiating that. If your personality is one where you're an introvert, that does not put you down. You like to be with yourself. You like to just be in your corner, in your space, as long as you are comfortable with it. If I want to copy somebody's personality and I want to be on stage and I feel, no, I can't do it, I don't believe that you can't do it. But Why do you want to be on stage, or why do you want to be of a different personality type? Is it because it'll give you happiness, or is it because you want to do it just to prove something to yourself or to life? Then it'll be very artificial. And actually, when you're comfortable with yourself, somebody will just pull you out and you'll just go out and present yourself because you're okay with what you are, right? But if you're not okay and you feel people will judge you, then it's like you will want to be in the background. Like I always tell my teacher Rohini, when we used to do Reiki, we used to form a circle or whatever workshops we used to do, and she would ask everyone, why are you here, what would you want to gain from this, or just how the workshop was. And like the number is going around the circle, and there would be like a heartbeat. Oh, it's going to come, my turn is going to come, let me prepare, what am I going to speak, what am I going to say? And now I tell her, you don't even ask, because now I'm so comfortable. But initially we feel that kind of a hesitation that, okay, why are you here, what did you get from this workshop, or what was it like? So I used to always feel those palpitations, because it was like, what am I saying, will it be okay, what will people think about it, can I use those terms, can I use that, can I articulate it to this level? And I used to always want to be in the background. And now it's like, okay, anyone pulls you out at any time and says, okay, come and say this or ask this, I'm happy to do it, because I'm just okay and free and comfortable with the way I am. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying there could be so many things which I could improve on, or I, should have done. But this is what it is, isn't it? So I say I'm just okay, and I would say I'm just perfect the way I am, and so are each one of you. The comparison makes you feel that. So it's a different personality. Each one of us are different personalities. In your own homes, you will see you have two kids, you bring them up together, they have the same parenting in the same environment. One is an extrovert who goes out to conquer the world. The other is just happy being at home with himself or herself, isn't it? But this one always envies that one, that, oh, I wish I could go out. But the fact is that that's not a priority. That's not in that one's personality. Even if he would step out, he may not be able to, perform in the way that the other one is. And you try to bind this one at home, he will not be able to sit at home, because it's just how your internal wiring is. And again, that is the way you're meant to be, and that is how God has made you. So accept it in just that way. It's absolutely perfect, isn't it? Shifali, does that answer your question? Just give a thumbs up.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yet I would say that if you really look up to something and you really want, like, okay, I wish I could stand on the stage in front of this huge audience and speak. If you really aspire for that, or I'm just giving you this as an example, or you really wish that you have these people around you who are who you radiate that love to, and you receive it from them, then by all means aspire for it. And what can stop you from not achieving it is nothing. But it all has to start by first appreciating and loving yourself. I always tell people that if you cannot love yourself, how can you expect your children or your partners or your parents to love you? Because if you hate yourself and you feel, my this is wrong, my that is wrong, then everybody's just seeing that part of you. It's the law of attraction. Whatever you focus on, that will enhance. Isn't it? Rachna, you should make everybody tap for self-love. I wish I told you before.
I think it's hunger for validation that actually keeps us into that comparative mode. Or so I was actually
Yeah.
talking to somebody in the morning, Deep. So she has some issues, and she's of my age, and so she now goes back to saying that, I felt the same way in my childhood, but I never realized it. That feeling of abandonment, of validation, and she's carrying it to the present time, that she's developed so many psychiatric problems also. She's in a state of depression, and she says, I don't know how to come out of this hunger for validation. This is with the parents giving more attention to the sisters. She says, I do everything, but uh, I am still looking. They will dump me, use me, and just walk over. It's very sad, honestly, since morning when I've spoken to her. That's why I got a little late also in joining. I just wanted to keep her call. So, how does one handle this?
See, it's like you're coming from totally a victimized space, isn't it? When one speaks like this, it's like I'm helpless, or it happened in my childhood and it's continuing here. I've been abandoned, or my parents didn't give me that time or that love. And it's like I tell people a lot of times that, okay, so whatever happened, happened. Your parents did the best that they could at that time, isn't it? You are doing your best as parents at this time. But if we keep hanging on to that past, which is over, and we keep, holding that baggage with us through our life and keep feeling that because it happened to me in childhood, it happened to me when I got married, it's happening now with my children, then obviously you're attracting that. But where is your own power? Do you not believe that you have any power within you? Of course, we all have that power within us. We all have that power within us. So connect to your own inner power. And I'm not saying that, when you use the word hunger for validation, it's like validate yourself first. Why do you want validation from outside? Every time I'm just emphasizing on one thing: turn the focus inwards. And I'm not saying that it'll just go. All of us would love to be validated, to be acknowledged, to be, appeased. Who would not like? Even I would say that it's so wonderful to receive, even when I receive your messages after a talk or after a seminar, of course it helps you, or it makes you feel good, if I may say. But is that what you're thriving on? Then you'll remain hungry all your life, isn't it? So validate yourself. Even when I tell people, do small things, like if I have to go from here to there, I keep thinking till I reach there, only then I will be applauded. I should be applauded. But no, every step that you climb is a goal in its own. So tick, one step done, two steps done, three steps done. Don't wait till you pat yourself on your back. I tell this a lot to people who are very high achievers, because they really beat themselves up. They feel till the time I haven't reached that goal, or haven't attained that contract or this and that, till then, I'm not worthy. But that's not true. Every step that you're taking is taking you towards your goal, and maybe you don't reach there, so all your life you'll only feel unworthy. Don't beat yourself up in that way at all. Applaud yourself, pat yourself on the back at every step. Okay, wow, you've done this. Now, okay, let's get ready for the next. Or, okay, you made a mistake here, you slipped down. Doesn't matter. Pick yourself up. And what stops us from doing it? Only our ego, isn't it? Remember that example I say, that when a small child is learning to walk like a toddler, he or she falls like 200 times in a day. But if the mind would say, okay, now you've fallen, don't get up. I mean, if one of us falls, we feel so embarrassed, isn't it? If we fall on the road, we feel so embarrassed. But it's okay. It's only a fall. Get up and walk. I'm not saying just literally. I mean literally, but I also mean even otherwise. If you fail at something, your project is not completed, you're not able to meet a deadline, you feel so bad about yourself. But it's okay. Understand, if it was meant to be, it would have happened. In the same way, when you see that child, the child has no ego. Falls, gets up, falls, gets up, falls, gets up. Before you know, he's running, isn't it? Think of yourself also like that. What stops you from getting up and saying, okay, I have not been able to do it, or I've fallen down, or this is not something which I'm fully comfortable with. I don't think I'm able to complete it to this level. Just tell yourself, and that's fine. You are doing the best that you can. Be comfortable and okay with what you are. I would say do little, but do it fully. Do it with love. Do it with joy. You don't have to accomplish. I mean, what is it that we have to accomplish? It's not going to increase your lifespan or decrease your lifespan, isn't it? So enjoy every moment of it. Enjoy every moment of whatever you're doing, whether it is a talk, whether it is just cooking something, whether it is interacting or just looking at your plants or just meditating. Everything, just do it fully with joy and with love. And know that you're meant to be here at this time. And this is the best thing that is happening to you at this time. Let me make the most of it. Yes, Srishti?
Hi, Auntie.
Tanvi, whoever's asking.
No, Auntie,
Hi.
it was me who was to ask. Actually, not to ask, but like just to share this thing, but coming up of social media and sharing stuff and all, like people do share their good parts, but there are hardly people who share their, their low parts. So they need validation from outside that, how am I looking? How am I feeling? But from within, that, the self-acceptance you need to have there. But why to go in search of, likes or comments from people just to seek validation that, am I looking good? Am I looking nice? In the same way, you need to even, share your low parts also. So I think with the coming of social media, I think the whole, a lot of people seek acceptances from other people, including myself or my sister or family also in that ways.
Yeah, so you see, it is social media. It's a media. It's meant to be the whole thing of the whole sort of base on which it is built is basically to connect to more people or to show people. But I just say, like, when you look at Facebook, it's really just something which is on the face. I remember somebody coming to me for a, for a relationship clearing some years back, and like, I just can't live with this person. I'm so fed up and this and that. And I said, but last week I saw your beautiful pictures on a cruise and you put them up on Facebook and this and that. So she said, yeah, that's only for Facebook. That's only for Facebook. So it's really something that you're projecting to the world outside. And then you're seeing how many people have seen it, how many people have liked it, how many people have not commented on it. It's just like such a waste of time, isn't it? So it's just like social media use it to, it's like anything else. It's like this mobile, don't become a slave to it. You think that, okay, so I'm just using it for communication and all, but before you know, if you want to meditate, you want to sleep, or you want to rest, or you want to do some work, it keeps going ping, 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 and invariably you'll turn around and say, okay, let me see. And how distracted you get. And where does it take you? You open Google on one thing to search for something, or you open your WhatsApp, okay, let me just write to somebody, and you see 100 messages there, and you start answering those, and before you know, you don't even know what you started off to do. And then again you pick up, oh, but I forgot what I had actually picked up my phone for. Same way, when you open one thing, it takes you to another page and another page and another page. You have 10 things on your screen and you've forgotten what you had actually logged in for. Isn't it? So it just takes you away. Just telling you it's all external directed. It just takes you away from the focus of what you want to do. So this social media is very good, but don't become a slave to it. Use it in a healthy way, not in a way where it starts to direct your life. Yes, Rachna?
On social media, and just to add a little bit further on what Srishti Tanvi, one of them, asked you, the ones who are putting in for their validation. But unfortunately, the ones who are looking, if they're not very comfortable in their own skin or in their own space, it just has such a negative impact, because they're only looking at all this beautiful stuff that, person is on this beach, person is on this cruise, person is having this wonderful evening, this wonderful life, and where am I? So being important in one's own space and one's own skin is just so important as well, because the social media has the impact on both sides, one who's putting it and one who's reading it as well.
Absolutely. Very, very valid to point this out, because actually social media creates depression for a lot of people, because it's like, oh, wow, just look at her. She's having such a wonderful life and I'm here, but it's only put up. It's only put up. What is the depth of it? If it has depth, why will you put it up? People are wishing their children, and I'm not really meaning to be personal in any which way. I mean, wish your children personally, call them up, hug them. Why are you putting it out on social media that you're wishing your child? We never had Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp when we were children and we were growing up. If we needed to wish a friend, we would write a card, post it to them. It was all so personal and so coming from the heart. Now it's like, just send a WhatsApp message, that also which was forwarded to you on your birthday, and just done, and it's over. Or you put it up on Facebook that I've wished you, and then you're saying, oh, how many people have wished me, how many, like, it's all, I mean, I don't want to say, I don't really like to call it Facebook. It seems more of a fake book to me than a Facebook. But yeah, it just came to me while I was talking. But I'm not disapproving of it. Like, I think we've all done that. But then beyond the point, you realize that why would I want to put up these things in this way to show the world where I am or what I'm doing? It just, it just gets into your privacy. And if there is a limited group where you want to tell them that, yeah, I'm traveling to this place or I'm out here, send them pictures. Why do we need to put it all on Facebook? Yes, to some level you put them on for your promotion, for things, that's fine. That's okay. And I'm not disregarding those who put that. That's fine. If it gives you a high, it's absolutely fine by all means. Like I said, fake it till you make it. There's nothing wrong in it. But just that, have depth in it, let's have depth in it. You're out for a holiday or a marriage with those people and you're clicking pictures with them and you're posting them. It's fine, but it's like you're posting them to the world. What is it? I would like to know what is the reason that you're putting them out. Your best friends already know where you are. Your family knows where you are. Put them on a family group. But it's okay. This is how the world is. It's fine. I'm not disregarding or disrespecting them in any which way. Yes, Ninka, are you saying something?
Yeah, so I have another angle to this. So I quit social media like 2 years ago, completely off it. It was part of my social detox that I was doing. What I feel is that there's one perspective, when you go outside, I traveled for 21 days to South Africa. I clicked so many pictures, but I did not feel the need to put it up on any website or something. But time to time, I do go back and look at those pictures. So, for people who are putting them out there, it could be a way or means to, capturing that kind of a moment. But I feel the way we perceive that picture, because I'm telling you, there are people who put up the bad sides too. I mean, people are acknowledging the fact that, everything is not rosy always. So, if we don't choose to look at those pictures at those times, because I've seen actresses, I've seen influencers, I have friends who put up those depression posts and everything. But then we find a way to criticize that too. So I feel that to each, it is so personal how you look at everything. I mean, when spoken about personalities, I live in an environment where I'm judged every single second. And people come up to me and say, this person is this equipped, that equipped. You know how I start talking about it? I say, wow, amazing. This person has achieved this. Good for her. I am proud of her. Because if I don't start that empowerment, then who will? Because it will give me my own resentment. And I don't want that. I don't want that relation to be screwed because somebody else told me that they are more happy of her happiness and not mine. I am 30. I have my own office, bought from my own money. I feel I have accomplished a lot in my life. But to them, if it's not enough for them, to somebody having a baby or, just being able to cook at the right point of time is a better benchmark of judgment, it doesn't matter to me because
Yeah.
your sense of judgment is screwed, like to me at least. So I feel, uh, like I said, protecting. So we have to kind of build a wall to, understand. हर कोई आपको judge कर रहा है. Everybody is commenting on you. Wait, does that person matter to you? Like आपको फर्क क्यों पड़ता है? Do you respect that person's opinion enough to, like, I say this person is stupid. I'm sorry, not the language I prefer, but I want to say if matlab, I understand this does not work for you. So logic is not your strong suite. And if you come here and tell me that I am wrong or I am this or that, that's because probably your IQ is less. Like, okay, I'm okay with that. So tell whatever you want to tell yourself. But I think social media, and it's equally bad, yeah. When you live with 15 people, it's like you're on social media all the time being trolled. Trust me.
Yeah. But I would
So,
just say one step more to what you're saying. It's absolutely okay. And it's not about really, giving them that kind of permission. I would say that even when you say certain things, let's not judge them also. Let's just respect them where they are. You understand what I'm saying? It may not be,
yeah.
it may not come so naturally, but I would like to sow this seed today on this group that let's not judge them. They are like coming from wherever, if their IQ is low or high or whatever, don't judge them for that also, because that creates more negativity within you.
Yes.
And there is no difference to some level between you and them, because if they are judging you for something, you are judging them also for something. So always pray, and that is, I can tell you with experience that it happens. There are people in all our lives who do that. Just ask to be in a neutral space. Remember, I think it was you or somebody when I ask people to cut cords, a lot of times they say, I don't want to connect at the heart. I think it was somebody else I was doing a session with yesterday, and she said, I don't want to connect at the heart. We cut from the lower chakras and we connect at the heart. So I say, okay, just let's be in a neutral space. I don't want to have ties of love with this person because you're still carrying a residue of that. Come into a non-judgmental, unconditional space of nothing to give, nothing to take. You be where you are, happy as you are. I am where I am, happy and peaceful as I am. With nothing to give, nothing to take. So even when you say, I don't want to connect with that person's energy, okay, I give the person some time, but I say, ultimately, I would want you to do that because there will be some residual energy left, which will come out. It's life, it's karma, it will come out in some way. So don't, even when you say that thing, don't judge them also. And I'm not saying that what you're saying is right or wrong. I understand the energy with which you're coming, but just know that they are just as they are, and that is just fine. That's their life. High, low is your judgment. And what
So I
they
think
say,
that's my defense. So
that's
compassion
fine.
is my next step.
It's very
Yeah.
natural. It's for most of us, but that's what we need to get over. I don't want you to be a person who's defensive, because why do you want to defend? It's again to prove something, right? I may be saying a lot at this point, but I want to sow that seed, and that's why I'm mentioning it, because there's so many like you on this group, and I know that. And I know because so many of us are growing through that, are understanding that. I don't want to judge anybody, whether it is a parent or a child or a partner or a house help. They are at that level. So many times, you see children, or I correct my children, let's not speak to them in this tone, because it's like if their IQ is low, that's why they are working for you, right? But some of them, it's not necessary. So don't judge anybody. You don't know what is the background for so many, right? So I'm not saying be compassionate if you can't be compassionate, but at least be in a neutral space. Yeah, let's not accumulate more negative karma by saying these things or judging anybody. We are moving towards the light, and we are going to carry and radiate that light. Maybe I can't be loving, I can't express myself, I can't show my emotions, but let me just in my heart not get that negativity. And that's where I really want to bring you, and I know you will be there very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And please share, topics that you would like to talk about and discuss about. And just so wonderful to be having these heart-to-heart conversations.
Such an
Thank you
insightful
you.
for your
conversation.
presence
Thank
and
you
your
so
share.
much.